evening. I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. There was a big ribbon-cutting ceremony today for the long-awaited $400 million regional hospital in Largo. Officials held the ceremony this afternoon at the 620,000-square-foot facility. It's the first brand-new hospital in the region in 30 years. The University of Maryland Capital Regional Medical Center was scheduled to open in 2017, but work on the project was delayed by disagreements over funding and the size of the hospital. The 205-bed facility includes a new heart and vascular institute, pediatric beds, and 2 rooftop helipads.
There is much history associated with this organization. We have overcome hurdles, but every proud moment is accomplished by a story and a history. Today I pay homage to the past, to the conversations, to the work, the time, and the dedication of stakeholders, administrators, past and present, that brought us here together.
The facility will replace the Prince George's Hospital in Cheverly. Those patients will be moved to the new hospital over the weekend. Prince George's school chief, Dr. Monica Goldson, makes a long-awaited announcement. County school children will be back to in-person learning this fall, but different learning options will be offered. Students in pre-K through 12th grade will resume in-person classes. However, kindergartners through 6th graders will have the option to continue with virtual learning. Parents must submit applications for virtual learning by June 30th. Meantime, there is a new specialty program for 7th through 12th graders. It's an online campus option for students who have done well during virtual learning.
We're now at the point of resuming full-time in-person instruction. And I thank the entire Prince George's County Public School community for your ongoing support. Nothing can replace that special dynamic that occurs when students and teachers are together in the classroom.
Dr. Goldson will host a telephone town hall to discuss school system plans for the fall. That meeting will take place tomorrow, June 9th at 5 p.m. Well, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for Maryland. State health officials have confirmed 78 new cases since yesterday. The positivity rate continues its downward trend at just over 1%. 3 people have died from the coronavirus since yesterday. A bipartisan Senate investigation looking into the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol found widespread intelligence breakdowns across a number of agencies, along with law enforcement and military failures that led to the attack. The report revealed that agencies had clear warnings and tips that supporters of former President Trump, including right-wing extremist groups, were planning to storm the Capitol. The investigation also revealed that groups had planned to attack with weapons, but that information never made it to the top leadership, and the result was chaos. The report recommends immediate changes to give the Capitol Police Chief more authority to provide better planning and equipment for law enforcement. Immigrant advocacy groups are decrying yesterday's unanimous Supreme Court decision that says TPS holders do not qualify for permanent residency. Justice Elena Kagan wrote for the court that federal immigration law prohibits people who entered the country illegally and now have temporary protected status from seeking green cards. The TPS designation applies to people who come from countries ravaged by war or disaster. It protects them from deportation and allows them to work legally.
Usually when TPS holders before, when they received TPS status, sometimes that meant they could adjust later on to become permanent residents. So once you have TPS, after you meet whatever qualifications, you could presumably go on to apply for permanent resident status. However, what the SCOTUS decision is doing is that it's saying that having TPS status doesn't count as the necessary qualification to even eventually apply for permanent residency. So this SCOTUS decision blocks TPS holders from even becoming permanent residents.
There are currently 400,000 people from 12 countries with TPS status. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Coming up, a popular community park in Hyattsville is renamed in honor of renowned artist David Driscoll. We'll have details straight ahead.
Every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer. With your help, we can end breast cancer. We are all stronger together.
Welcome back. Well, Montgomery County's top leader signs a bill to improve safety for small children living in apartment complexes. County Executive Mark Elrich signed off on Bill 5120 this morning. It's also known as Ezekiels Law. It requires landlords to install and maintain window guards in apartments with children 10 years old and younger. The law is named after Ezekiel Numezi, a 2-year-old boy who died after falling from an apartment window in Tacoma Park.
This was a tragedy and it's heartbreaking, but it's also avoidable. This is one of those things that didn't have to happen. There's no reason why this had to happen, and but for the lack of window guards, it wouldn't have happened.
Tragically, we've seen several incidents of children suffering serious injuries from window falls in the county in just the last several years, including an incident last May in Gaithersburg and another in 2019 in Tacoma Park. We have a lot of aging multifamily properties and a lot of windows that present a hazard to young children.
Ezekiel's Law will go into effect on January 1st of next year. There's a COVID-19 vaccination clinic in Hyattsville this weekend if you still need to get your shot. Delegate Wanika Fisher is hosting the event with Mega Mart this Saturday and Sunday at 2441 Chillam Road. It runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for people 12 years and older. Fisher says the goal is to vaccinate around 200 residents. She says it's important to host this clinic, especially in her district.
My community has been adversely affected during the COVID-19 crisis. The zip code 20783 has the highest contraction rate in the state. And as the representative of this community, I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything I can to bring access to the vaccine.
For more information, call 301-858-3340. Meantime, Fisher is also hosting a Pride Run at noon this Saturday at Streetcar 82 Brewing Company. Children and teens will soon be able to get free summer meals. The program has been around for years, but this summer it's open to any youth 18 and under. Prince George's council member Julian Ivey says she expects the need to be great due to the pandemic, just as it was last year.
We need it every year, but we need it this year more than ever. It's been a horrible year for so many people, and the only meal that a lot of children get are the meals they get at school. And we've really tried hard this year to help continue to feed children, even though they weren't physically present in school buildings. This summer just continues that so that children can continue to be fed. And last year, we divided it up so that students went twice a week. And in fact, their parent can go. It didn't have to be the child. And I'm sure it'll be very similar again, but the meals will be provided probably twice a week, and you go and pick up several at a time to kind of cut down on the wear and tear on people's schedules and on transportation challenges that so many people have.
To find the closest summer meal site, call 211 or text food to 877-877. You can also log on to mdsummermeals.org. Maryland State Police are investigating a fatal pedestrian crash involving a tractor trailer. It happened about 3:30 this morning on eastbound Route 50 east of Route 301. Investigators say an adult female from out of state was walking on the highway when she was hit. The victim was pronounced dead. The driver of the truck did stay on the scene. No charges have been filed. Best-selling author and businessman Wes Moore announces his candidacy for governor of Maryland. The 42-year-old Democrat is a combat veteran who served in Afghanistan. Moore is the author of 2 New York Times best-selling books. He is also the former CEO of the Robin Hood Foundation, an anti-poverty organization. Moore joins a growing list of Democrats vying for the party's nomination for governor. And we will have more news in just a moment. Stay tuned.
The coronavirus has affected the African American community in many ways, including a drastic drop in blood donations needed for patients with sickle cell disease. If you're healthy, please make an appointment to donate at redcrossblood.org.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, Hyattsville is officially renaming Magruder Park after a prominent artist. The City Council passed an official resolution yesterday. It will now be called the David C. Driscoll Community Park. Driscoll was a Hyattsville resident who taught at the University of Maryland. He was also honored by former President Clinton with the National Humanities Medal. Mayor Kevin Ward says they wanted to rename the area after finding out about its history.
The chief among them was finding that the covenants of the park, when it was originally conveyed to the city, restricted people of color, specifically African Americans, from using the park. And we wanted to the extent that we could, take away that covenant and honor a member of our community.
Driscoll passed away from COVID-19 last year. The city plans on hosting a ribbon-cutting ceremony later this year. Metro expands its touch-free Smart Trip payment options to Android devices. Beginning today, riders can download the Smart Trip app from the Google Play Store. Existing Smart Trip users can also transfer funds from their plastic card to the app from an Android device. Riders will also be able to add money and purchase passes through the app. For more information, visit wamada.com/Google Play. And in sports news, the University of Maryland has a new state-of-the-art football facility. The $143 million facility was unveiled last week. It's named for Darrell Hill and Billy Jones, the first African Americans to play football and basketball at the university. Over several years, the old Cole Fieldhouse was redesigned and reconstructed to create the Jones Hill House. CTV's David Barnes recently toured the facility.
Everything is right here within 100 yards of what they need to get to, whether it's training, whether it's competition, whether it's academics, whether it's nutrition. Everything is housed here, and this building is a standard bearer for us here at the University of Maryland.
The facility is like your workplace. You always want to go somewhere where you want to work. If you don't want to be there, then the job you do isn't going to be done well. So I think us having this top-notch facility is going to make the work ethic in the team much better.
It just really, to me, shows the standard that that has been set for Maryland football. This type of investment has never been made into football in general, and they really outdid themselves. I mean, it's better than what I imagined. You know, I've sold this dream to a lot of really good players over the last 14 years having worked here, and to see it come to fruition and see it in its totality just amazes me that we have a facility that you can go anywhere in the country and not finish second for a recruit because of the facility.
And the University of Maryland opened the Jones Hill House to the media last Friday. Well, let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms and a low around 72. Wednesday, partly sunny with rain possible in the afternoon. Highs near 91 and lows around 71. Thursday, showers throughout the day with a high near 85 and a low of 67. Friday, more showers and possible thunderstorms. Daytime temps reach a high near 75 and a low of 63. And now for your community calendar. Wrap up this virtual year in person with familiar faces at the end of the school year celebration. The event will be hosted by a few school board members this Friday, June 11th, from 5 until 7 p.m. at Walker Mill Park. Enjoy performances by the talent group for children called MTM Band and much more. Be sure to check for updates on those cancellations due to weather. For more information, call 301-952-6115. And that wraps up our newscast for this evening. Join us again tomorrow. Have a great night.